Hey challengers, so today is all about meal planning, and I'm going to be brutally honest with you that your food intake and your nutrition is 85% of the success that you're going to have with this program. So you can't be doing the exercises and working out and then not following clean eating and your portion control. You're just going to be sabotaging yourself. So this is the absolute most important part of your healthy plan. So let's start. I want you to have some really good results with this, and if you can nail the meal planning, guaranteed you're going to get the results that you want. My first meal plan honestly took me forever to do, but now it's a habit. I know exactly what I need to eat for my nutrition. I do my meal planning every week and I keep it very simple. So, word of warning, you may be a little frustrated when you do your first meal plan, but guaranteed it does get easier with practice. So the first thing you need to know is the number of your containers that you need. And we did that yesterday on how you calculate the number of containers. And then we also talked, that was 2 days ago, and then yesterday we talked about what the containers are and why we use them and how we use them. So that's what you need to have done first before you start a meal plan. You need to know what goes in each container also. And in the files section of this app, I have put this neat little handy sheet. And I know it says 21-day fix. If you're doing Country Heat, it's pretty much the same. It's a neat little at-a-glance sheet that tells you what goes in each container. The second thing that I've put in the files section to help you, and this is what I use, is a meal plan template that you can print off. Now, one little thing though, this has a certain container count. You need to make sure that this is your container count. Second thing I want to mention that you'll see, there's each day of the week and then what you have at each time. Keep your body fueled. Don't get too hungry. There is an evening snack. I am going to recommend against doing that. We would like to have all our containers in and accounted for by supper time or the end of your supper. If you do get hungry in the evening, two things I'm going to suggest: green tea or have another vegetable serving, unless you are working out later in the evening and you do need some energy. But if you're not, no evening snacking. Let's try it. If you're having a problem with it and you find you're hungry, just let me know. We can maybe tweak your eating plan a little bit. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to go through some tips that have helped me do my eating plan, and maybe it'll help you. I am actually very plain when it comes to what I eat from Monday to Friday. I do work outside the home, so I need to take my lunch with me, and I find it really easy if I do pretty much the same thing every day. It just makes it easy. I don't have to think. I found my favorites, and that's my go-to pretty much every day, Monday to Friday, except for my supper. So what I do is for my breakfast, now this is just me. You'll find out what works for you. What I do for breakfast is I have a breakfast burrito, and I will talk about where to find some of these recipes in a minute. Breakfast is a breakfast burrito. My snack is then a Shakeology. My lunch is always a very large salad, which I went through with you when I was explaining the containers and how I use those. It's got nuts, it's got seeds, it's got chicken or tuna, it's got cheese on it. It's very, very filling and satisfying. So that's what I have for my lunch. My snack in the afternoon could be some fruit, and sometimes it's even if I know I'm going to be having my supper a little bit later that day, I want to make sure I have enough in the afternoon to keep me full so that I'm not starving by the time supper comes. One thing that I do, and I love it, I do oatmeal with some dark chocolate chips and some shredded coconut. That is a great afternoon snack. Oatmeal is not just for breakfast, and I heat it up in the microwave. The chocolate melts through. It's a great snack. It's got some sweetness to it, and the the yellows will keep you full. So that's something that I will do in the afternoon. My dinner is usually different every night because we want something. Look, a gal can't live on a grilled chicken breast and salad alone. We need to be having lasagna roll-ups and pizzas and casseroles and slow cooker stuff and soups and stews. We need to make it interesting and yummy, or we will not stick with it. So that's where I kind of change things up a lot. You know, have some pastas, some spaghetti sauces. So that's what I do for my dinner. So what I want you to do is take your meal plan, start filling it out. You know, maybe you're going to do what I do and have the same thing from Monday to Friday. You know, it's always the same right up until your supper. You can try that, or you can try doing different things. When you eat your different containers and how you combine them and that sort of thing, that is completely up to you. This is a very flexible plan that you need to be able to do day by day and not get bored with it. And again, it's a flexible. Please take note of the treats that you can have in your eating plan. There's a page that talks about treats. Have them 3 times a week. Please incorporate them. You will still have success with having those treats 3 times a week. So just start filling this out in pencil, getting some ideas on what you like to eat. So that is what I do. You will find what works for you. A couple of tips that I wanted to mention to you that I use quite a bit. I get those packages of boneless, skinless chicken breasts from Walmart. They're only $10 for a great big package. And in the summer, I throw them on the barbecue all at the same time, put some good seasonings on them, make them nice and yummy. And then when they've cooked and cooled, I cube them up and I use my red container. And I fill my red container with this cooked cube chicken breast, put it in a snack bag, so I'm measuring it out as a proper portion, and I throw those snack bags in the freezer. And I'm grabbing those all the time. I use them to put on my salads. I use them to put on barbecue chicken pizzas, in casseroles, in soups. I'm using them all the time. So it's a great way to have things prepped ahead. My breakfast burritos that I talked about earlier, I do those up a full package at a time. You get the wraps in packages of 10, so I cook 10 at a time. It doesn't take any more time to do 10 than it does to do just a couple. Individually wrap them, throw them in the freezer. They're my go-to. It's what I pull out of the freezer every morning to take with me, because I know I don't eat breakfast before I leave to go to work. That's a no-no. But I do eat breakfast as soon as I get there. So that's what I do. It's already done, easy. I don't even think about what I need to pack first thing in the morning, and I'm good for the full day. So that's another thing about meal planning. And being prepared and making sure that you have that food with you during the day, or the vending machine will call your name. Guaranteed. Now, another thing is I do prep ahead a lot of times. Once I get my supper done for the evening and cleaned up, a lot of times I will prep for the next night's supper. If it's a casserole, it'll be ready to go in the fridge to pop in the oven right when I get home from work the next day. Make the crock pot your friend. Start using your slow cooker so that supper is all ready for you when you come home. Another thing you can think about doing is, depending on if you like leftovers or not, I do, and I'm a lazy cook. So I only like to cook every second night, if at all possible. So I will make enough for 2 meals for myself and my husband for the next night. Recipes. Yes. Okay. You can find, and another thing I wanted to mention too before I move on. I've put another thing in your files section. This is a great little shopping list so that you make sure you've got things on your shopping list from each one of the containers. Once you've got your meal plan done, the second thing is you got to have the food in your house. So make sure you fill out, this is just a little handy sheet to go get your groceries so that you've got the food for all those meals. Another thing I've put in is a little tally sheet that you can use to kind of check off when you've had your different containers. I actually only used this for the first week, and then I kind of knew in my head what I needed. If I followed my meal plan, I knew I had all my containers, so I didn't have to check them off. Recipes, okay, let's go back to that. There are some awesome, healthy, yummy recipes that are clean eating. You just need to watch your portions, of course. So where can you find these? I've uploaded a couple of my favorites, or a few of my favorites. There's 2 files in your files section of some of my favorite recipes. So those are there for you. Pinterest. Go on Pinterest and search 21 Day Fix recipes. And they will even come with the container counts and everything for you. The third place you can find some great recipes, tons of them also, is on your Team Beachbody account. Again, log in www.teambeachbody.com. Then you want to click Eat Smart, and there'll be a drop-down menu come down, and there will be a tab that says Recipes. So click on that. There are tons in there. You can even search for an ingredient if you've got, I got a hankering for salmon or chicken, or I've got some zucchini in my garden I need to use up. You can type in that search word, get lots of recipes with that ingredient. So start looking at some great recipes, because I don't want you to get bored with this. I want you to have some really, really good food and some great recipes, and that's how you're going to stick with it. So I think that's about it for now, just to get you on track for meal planning. Again, in the file section, you've got your at-a-glance sheet. You have a meal plan template. You have grocery lists, or not your list, but your grocery list categories. And you've got a tally sheet. Lots of resources for you to use as you're doing your meal plan. Now, one thing, I want you to just start working on that meal plan. What I would like you to do is by the end of this week, this planning week, I would like you to have your meal plan submitted to your coach for review. Sometimes there's just a few little tweaks that we can provide you, some advice and some feedback to help you for your next week. And if you don't submit your meal plan and you get going through part of the week and you're like, you know what, I'm too hungry, or this isn't, I need some help with this, always feel free to reach out to us anytime you need the help. Well, I hope these tips will help you get on the way for some successful meal planning. Again, do not get overwhelmed. The first one is difficult, but stick with it. Within the first two to three meal plans, you'll be an expert at it. Have a great day.